ago in Miami, I had a friend named Claire Mills, and she was Russian Jewish and made no bones about it. When she bought her first townhouse in Florida, she had them take up a few squares of the patio so she would have some dirt. As she said, I'm peasant stock, I have to dig in a little dirt. And I really understand what she meant, because I live sort of in the same place. And now I'm trying to turn the camera around here. So this is my little patch of dirt that I love digging in. When you come in the gate, I have two jasmine trees, star jasmine and night blooming jasmine, that will slowly creep up this wall with chicken wire and cover it and offer wonderful fragrance. Then I have this little succulent garden here along the back where it doesn't need much water. I love fresh tomatoes off the vine. The small one is aroma, but this one is a regular sort of beefsteak type tomato, slicing tomato. And it is just pouring out leaves and fruit, and I'm so happy with it. Down here we've got more. This is a strawberry plant. It was in the ground down below, but it wasn't getting enough sun, and now that it is, and it's in its own little pot, you can't really see the strawberries yet, but they are coming out. There's another flower. The peach tree that's now been about 4 years in the ground here. And again, the peaches are hidden, but they're in here. We're gonna have quite a few this year. The fig tree, which started out as a cutting in a jar of water about 6 inches tall, and we trimmed it back last year, and it just took off this year and is laden with baby figs that are growing. And I use drain water from the washing machine mixed with city water to irrigate it down below. Gravity feed with a water hose so it soaks nice and deep. This lemon tree is finding its way, but I had it professionally trimmed back, and it has a lot of new growth on it. It should have been done in January, but I did get it done in late April. So it's starting to do things that I think will lead to fruit production soon. We actually have a little volunteer tomato plant, and what that means is I didn't plant it, it came up from a seed, and it's got flowers on it now, so it's going to be starting to make tomatoes in about a month. And of course, the lovely avocado tree that was half dead when we moved in. Last year we got one avocado off of it. This year, also in late April, I had it trimmed properly, and it has really flourished since that trimming. I'm beginning to understand the relationship between pruning, trimming, and new growth. What a metaphor for therapy. Oh, by the way, this is my construction junk pile. It will go away in the next 6 months or a year. Anyway, I hope you've... Oh, and I forgot. The original guava tree that was the strongest tree when we moved in, it gets dramatically trimmed every year so that it can have new growth. And here are the buds of the baby guavas coming out. And we give this tree a lot of water this time of year because it's making fruit as well. And every year so far it's just been laden with guava, And in the meanwhile, all of these trees and plants provide for a lovely shady respite here in South Los Angeles. It's my neighbor's trees, where we have all these beautiful trees that make fruit and give shade or just provide beauty. Including my neighbor's sour orange tree 2 doors over. And the beautiful, majestic palm trees that line the street. Here in the front yard, we have this shriveled, which I got from a friend in the desert who had a roommate who had left it to die. For years, I had it in a pot on the stairs at my apartment, and I planted it here when we moved in, and it's thriving. This is the other lemon tree we transplanted from the backyard, and it's also finding itself. I had it professionally pruned in April, and that's making a difference. It's starting to push out new growth and the promise of lemons. When I got the fig tree, I got it because I bought this mango tree that was about a foot high when I planted it. And like any hardwood that makes big fruit, it's taking its time growing. But this is 3 years later, and mangoes don't usually grow in Southern California, but I'm being an optimist. These 2 plants came with the house, as did the aloe vera, except it was planted in the backyard and we moved it out here where it would have more room. A friend of mine's mother had these 2 plumerias, also known as frangipanis. Here's the other one out here. And they're starting to find their way after a couple of years of waiting to see what was going to happen. Lastly, this Sago Palm appeared to be dead when we planted it, and it took it almost a year to wake up and start growing. You can see the green on the top, which is new this year, the green with yellow tips, which is from last year. There's something genuinely magical about putting something into the ground, watering it, and watching God and life just go on their own without worrying or fretting over them very much, but just saying, be blessed. I think that's what Claire enjoyed about digging in her little patch of dirt, and it's certainly what I enjoy in mine. I should also say that after I made this video, I went around with my hoe and dug up all the weeds and made troughs around all the plants so that the irrigation water would focus more on the plant and less on all the weeds that were hanging on around them. So now I'm resting, and I hope you enjoy all of this. And I checked my solar output, and my solar panels are making 3.8 kilowatts. My house is only using 0.6 kilowatts, so I am returning 3.1 kilowatts to the grid for the rest of the system, including my neighbors, to take the strain off of whatever is feeding our neighborhood from outside. It's all good.